you're in the back there and would like to join forward for the press conference here, we're going to get started. And very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dave Fisher, and we're here in the final couple days here of this 2018 IIHF World Junior Hockey Championship. We'll hear from each of our speakers briefly, and then they'll be happy to take your questions. And I'd like to start off today by turning the microphone over to Mike Gilbert, Senior Vice President of the Buffalo Sabres, and of course, Chair of the host organizing committee for this tournament. Mike?
Thanks, Dave. I'd like to start off first by welcoming Rene Fasel to Buffalo. Great to have you here. Luke and Frank and the rest of the IIHF staff who has been here for the last 2 weeks. It's been great hosting you. We're very happy to have you back, and it's been a great tournament so far. We still have some games left to be played today and tomorrow, but we're really looking forward to it. Thanks for everything. In addition, on behalf of the owners of the Buffalo Sabres, Terry and Kim Pagula, and our president, Russ Brandon, I just would like to say thank you to everybody that was involved in the planning of this and the preparation over the last 2 years. It was 2 years ago when USA Hockey awarded us this great event, and we've been looking forward to it. And all the employees of the Sabres and Harbor Center and the Bills out at the stadium, New Era Field, we appreciate everything you've done, and thank you. Finally, just looking back to what was here over the last 2 weeks and over the next 48 hours, the games that are left, we're very encouraged and excited and happy to be here, and that the tournament's been very successful. So, again, thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Next, I'd like to turn it over to Pat Kelleher, who is the Executive Director of USA Hockey. Pat?
Thank you. I'd also like to echo Mike's welcome, Rene. It's great to have you here. Thank you for being here, and the rest of the IIHF. It's been a great event here in Buffalo. I want to thank, on behalf of USA Hockey and our president, Jim Smith, I'd like to thank Mike Gilbert for all his work, Russ Brandon, Kim and Terry Pagula. Of course, none of this happens without the Pagula's commitment to Buffalo and commitment to hockey in this area. I want to thank the Sabres organization, the Bills organization, the staff, and most importantly, I see some of the members. I see Stan over here from the ice crew. The job they did last week out at New Era Field for that spectacular outdoor game was truly amazing. And so without their support, none of this happened. So for everyone here in Buffalo, and then from our side, from USA Hockey, we'd like to thank our staff, led by Mike Birch, but Kevin Couture, Matty Brown. We had a lot of people here, put in a lot of time and did a great job to bring this tournament together. We're proud to host this tournament. Having something like this in the U.S. is really big for our organization, but also for the sport of hockey. We look for ways, any way we can, to continue to grow hockey participation in the U.S. We're a grassroots membership organization. Having an event like this, a spectacle like the outdoor game last week, those things help raise the profile not only of junior hockey in this country, but also of just ice hockey in this country, and that's helpful for what we do. It shines a light on really a lot of the volunteer efforts that go in to put together, to develop players, really, to get players this level. I think it's really beneficial for people to be able to watch this. The NHL Network's done an incredible job covering the tournament here in the U.S., and it shines a light really on those volunteers around the country that do so much to make sure that these players get to be the best that they can be. It's an exciting year for USA Hockey. We have the Olympics coming up, obviously, after this, the Paralympics, and we continue to move forward with our American development model to help grow the game in the U.S. and make sure that every kid that comes into USA Hockey in one of our programs has a great experience with our game. Thanks, Dave.
All right, Pat, thanks very much. I'm going to skip Rene and move over to Luke Tardif, who is the chair of this year's tournament and also a member of the IIHF Council. Luke?
Yes, first of all the teams, those who are gone and those who are still in competition, join me to really congratulate the organization committee. I think that was a teamwork, because we were surprised and really pleased of the involvement of the Buffalo Sabres, the USA Hockey for sure, the organization committee, and even we were talking about the outdoor game, about the Bills. What we can say is, for us as a chairman, for me and Frank Gonzalez, that was easy, because you were there by our side, try to figure out anything to make the competition and to put competition in the best conditions. So that was great. And just a few words about the outdoor game. We used to to go over the world for some hockey game, but this one was a little bit magic with the snow, 44,500, that's a record. And we were happy to be there, and we can say we were there. And also what I can say in the name also of IIHF and the staff of IIHF, so thank you for the organization, even if it's still few games to do for the organization, because that was great. And first of all, I must say that the venue itself with the 2 rings and make the competition very easy to organize for us. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Luke, and I'll turn it over to the President of the International Ice Hockey Federation, Mr. Rene Fasel. Rene?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. First of all, let me wish everybody in this room a very happy new year, full of success. I think it's for me personally very interesting to be back in Buffalo after 2010. And we have actually also different weather. I mean, it's really winter in North America when it starts to be winter. So in Europe, I left actually Europe, we had 16 degrees in Switzerland and a heavy wind. So coming here, it was chilly, I must say so. And hearing about the outdoor game, Luke told me, and all the friends here told me that was a unique experience, 44,500 spectators. And I would like to thank all the volunteers. Everybody's telling me that the guys with the snow shuffle, they were really perfect. It was not so easy with all the snow. Remembers us actually when we played outside. We actually played always outside in Europe when we played many years ago. So it was an interesting experience. And thank you actually the Sabres organization. Everybody's telling me you're really doing really well here, Michael. So thank you for your help. And USA Hockey, as you said, it is. It's really special to be back in United States after 2010. I remember we had the World Championship in Boston. It was not so successful with the spectators. And just speaking about spectators, I mean, I know that there are some concerns, but I just said, Pat and Michael, I remember a World Championship, Junior World Championship in Switzerland, 1989. Guess how many spectators we had in the total tournament? 36,000. 36,000. So we are far away. I mean, we are looking for the 200,000 spectators here, and this is for junior hockey is still a performance. So thank you everybody. Thank you the fans. Thank you to the media for also helping us to make this tournament what it is. I mean, it's very special here in North America and also very interesting in Europe, followed by all the people. Actually, I followed the games on TV in Switzerland, watching some of the games here. I mean, where they showed all the games live. So very interesting for me. Once again, thank you very much for your interest. And once again, Happy New Year. Merci beaucoup.
Just, if I
Yeah,
can,
Luke, go ahead.
If I can say something else.
We were really happy to be there, not only for the outdoor game, but for historical, I don't know if historical, qualification of the Bills. We were there.
Very good point. Gentlemen will be happy to take your questions. Don, we have the mic holder somewhere here, right? Okay, mic holder, just raise your hand and then please identify yourself, your affiliation, and then direct your question to a particular person. Amy, go ahead.
Sure. Amy Moritz, Buffalo News. I guess for Mike and Pat, I have to ask, I mean, is it disappointing, the attendance figures outside of the outdoor game? Is this what you expected? What can you tell us about what you've thought about the attendance?
You know, we always want to put more fans in the seats. I don't think that's anything we would ever debate or question. But we've had great hockey here. I mean, I think that's been the big thing. For the people who've been in the building, they've seen the best players in the world, the players that will be in the NHL next year. So I think for us, we're very excited, the quality of play, the level of play. I think, you know, as I mentioned, the coverage we've had with the NHL Network and everything else around the tournament has been really spectacular for us.
And I guess I'll follow up, Amy. Obviously, the ticket sales haven't been as robust as we would have hoped them to be, but we don't judge the success and the failure of a tournament based on ticket sales. If you take a step back for a minute and just look at this tournament, we're the first city to have it back when it comes to the United States. So just the fact that we got that, we're really happy. Harbor Center across the street, combined with this building, gives us 3 rinks. The 10 teams didn't have to leave and go anywhere. They were in, 8 of the teams were in one hotel, and the other 2 were nearby. The ease of moving people back and forth has been great. The outdoor game, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be at the first Winter Classic 10 years ago, and now 10 years later to see us in New York the other day, I think it's going to be the same way with the World Juniors. We're going to look back, or when the next ones are played, like, wow, what happened in Buffalo? And just more than all those things combined, the competition on the ice. I think we've seen the best hockey players in the world at 18, 19 years old competing, and the best 4 games are still to be played. So we don't look at it based on tickets alone.
All right, John?
John Worrell with the Associated Press. Either for Luke, Rene, or Pat, I'm not sure, but do you think, given the number of times the World Juniors have been held in this region, be it Toronto, Montreal, or Buffalo over the past, since Buffalo first hosted it, plus the World Cup of Hockey that was held last year in Toronto, do you think maybe this market might be a little tournamented out, and maybe a reflection of what the lag in ticket sales?
I would say so. I mean, you can confirm, I think. Less is more. So I think actually together with Hockey Canada, we made it experience USA Hockey to come in this region. So we have over 1 million people around Buffalo, 7 to 8 million people over the border, 1 hour, 30 minutes drive. So it's nearly 10 million people. And having this, so I mean, Toronto, Montreal, Toronto, and Buffalo before, and coming back here, maybe that could. But the weather also, people telling me here, the weather is, even Canadians and Americans here in this country, you are used to this kind of winter, but being on the road for 1.5 hours, 2 hours from coming from Toronto, Ontario region, I don't know, you're Canadian, even for Canadians, it's a tough one, no?
Yeah, and the weather was really bad. The traffic, a lot of car crash almost everywhere. So for sure that didn't help. But that was cold outside and warm inside. That's the most important thing. And the competition was good. And I think today, with a sunny day, that's easy on the road. We're gonna have a good crowd for those 2 games.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Go ahead.
Just as a follow-up, with U.S. once again, I believe, scheduled to host in 2022, the World Juniors. Do you think you might be leaving this area for at least the interim period, given how much has been played, how much hockey's been played in this region?
Well, we're not sure exactly when we're having it back. We still have those conversations to go with the IIHF, and hopefully we'll find out. We want to have it back in the U.S., obviously, when we can. And we'll look at, we had a lot of interest in this tournament before from NHL clubs and other markets. I think we'll have a lot of interest from those same clubs and maybe some others afterwards. So we'll evaluate all that and see what makes the most sense for the tournament and for USA Hockey as well.
Okay.
I don't know if this is working. Rene, I mean, this is the 3rd World Juniors in North America where attendance has been an issue in some respect at some venue, either in Montreal or here. In retrospect, looking back, what I would like to know is whether or not you think that people in North America, or at least in this area, have reached a saturation point for this event, and looking back in retrospect, was it a good call to put them so close together, both in terms of geography and in terms of the time period?
Is that the gospel according to Ken? His attendance has been an issue? You're stating that as fact. Obviously, this will finish in the top 10, so still pretty good.
I would compare it to 2011 when it was here, and in Montreal there were attendance issues, and in both times in Montreal there were attendance issues.
There's always
And here
attendance
there's
issues, Ken.
issues.
There's always attendance issues if every seat isn't sold. You're right. I agree with that.
Okay. Well, I don't recall having asked you the question, Dave. I asked it to Rene. So
No, I know.
Maybe I'll allow Rene to answer.
He'll answer it for sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I think you're right. I mean, the answer is also that in Vancouver, I spoke with Tom Rene at the Spengler Cup. He told me that already over 50% of the tickets are sold in Vancouver. So this is a signal that I think going back now to West, and the interest of the people there is different than it here. I think we were also unlucky last year with the World Cup having the baseball team